Hey friends, this is Dolany TV. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you as we enter the weekend here on the channel, getting set up to find out how insane things are about to get in the next 96 hours. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, tonight, and of course, Tuesday morning as we await official word on the St. Louis Blues offer sheets from the Edmonton Oilers side. Still nothing yet. Stay tuned. We'll have it when we know. But before we get to too much about today's episode, I would encourage you right now, start thinking about hitting that subscribe button. We're about to go into probably the most insane weekend I have ever had covering the Oilers in August, coming up here following this Friday night's conclusion. So make sure you hit that subscribe button at some time this weekend, and let's get to everything we know about today and what my thoughts are on that, because oh boy, there's a whole bunch to get to and unpack in the report on Oilers Nation, summing up some rumors that have popped up over the past 48 hours regarding the price to offload Cody Ceci or Brett Kulak to another team. The mention is first round, second round draft picks to whoever is willing to take on the contract. And I mean, Ceci and Kulak are not that high priced, but the Oilers are in a very vulnerable state. They will also be getting a draft pick back should they not choose to match on one or both of the RFAs. And when you look at it here, Broberg, Holloway each will fetch at least a third round pick. In Broberg's case, a second rounder. So if the Oilers choose to offload to at least keep one Dylan Holloway, you're still going to be able to get that second rounder you gave away back in return for signing Dylan Holloway from St. Louis. Sorry, let's try that again. Philip Broberg from St. Louis. My apologies. Hey, you do it live. Sometimes things get messed up. That said, is that not just absolutely insane that, I mean, other teams think they can take advantage of our situation to that degree? I understand, wanting to draft pick a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, something like that to take a contract. Hey, it's kind of the old cutting salaries that we do at the trade deadline. I get that. But the fact that it looks like teams are trying to box a brand new GM, to this team anyway, in Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson into that corner, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Bowman and Jeff Jackson as a combination running up this Edmonton Oilers front office is not to be made on this RFA mess, not to be made on any of the headlines that have come out in the past 2-3 weeks. It is all to be made on how that trade, whether Ceci or Kulak gets traded, how that is handled and the price that is paid. Because quite honestly, if Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman are going to let another team run their show like that, oh boy, we are in big time trouble. I am sorry, friends. Maybe comment your thoughts on this right now if you're just watching along here. How much trouble? I know a lot of people have suggested that the Oilers are just in trouble to begin with because Stan Bowman's now the GM. But how much trouble are the Oilers truly in if they're going to let another team walk all over them? Sorry, I should say, like that, taking a first or a second. That is highway robbery, heck, extortion, if another team does that to the Oilers just to get rid of the Kulak and Ceci contracts. You know what? A contract like Kane, if the Oilers were actively trying to move that and this situation arose and that was the only solution, I 100% get that first or second round pick. You're talking money there, but you are not talking money here. Even the Zach Kassian thing, I get that, but you're talking two serviceable, very well defending for the bottom pair and can ask more of defensemen at the NHL level in Kulak and Ceci. If the Oilers are stupid enough in asset management to give that up just because of the desperation, I'm concerned. Now, I say stupid. That's throwing around some big words here. But again, I cannot, as an Oilers fan at all, justify anything more than a fourth round pick in addition to these players to clear the salary. Now, there is a caveat to that because, hey, we do need a defenseman if we're going to give up Broberg and we're just clearing cap to kind of make things easier signing Holloway, right? So if we're just clearing cap for Holloway and we're trading out Ceci or Kulak, we need a defenseman in return, because then you're basically either signing Tyson Barrie and Justin Schultz, which I can tell you, based on the comments section last night, based on general consensus on everything I've read today, no one's really a fan of doing that. Yes, you could do that to the trade deadline. Yes, it will work. The Oilers would survive, not worst case scenario. But then the assets you're paying at the deadline, you just might as well have paid them now to been better off and hopefully get home ice advantage in the playoffs all the way through, right? I think there's some valid arguments, lessons learned here over the past year that argue don't just cheap out until the deadline and then figure it out then, because that's dumb. So, and I can tell you, you're not going to trade Tyson Barrie for near the same value you did last time out. I can almost guarantee you're not. So, for the Oilers in this instance is you're looking at it, yeah, okay, you can justify the price of a first or a second round pick attached to Kulak or Ceci if you find a team willing to give you another player. Now, I really haven't bled in to try and understand where these Cody Ceci Montreal Canadiens trade rumors are coming from. I've seen that pop up on a couple different YouTube channels over the past week, but I think there is some validity there. If you look at Montreal's situation, you kind of look at how much they have built up their pools of players and stuff. They have, if they move Cody Ceci in, they have some guys that, you know what, would be on that Troy Stetcher, Josh Brown, maybe a little above, that if you give them Cody Ceci in a second or Cody Ceci in a first or Brett Kulak in a first or Brett Kulak in a second, yeah, you know what, you could maybe get someone on a 900 somewhere in there $1 million contract, and you know what, okay, maybe you're doing better than you were for just straight clearing cap, right? I would follow that theory if you're looking at just only signing Dylan Holloway. So there's where, again, I guess that's my caveat to the whole how stupid would you be to give up a first and second rounder to clear out Ceci and Kulak, is because if you're giving up that kind of mentality and that kind of assets, and I'm sitting here right now telling you, look, these guys are serviceable. There's no reason to get taken advantage of, taken to the cleaners, walked on, whatever the case might be. Quite simply, get an extra asset that can play that bottom pairing role, right? Where now all of a sudden you move the other guy up, right? So if it's the left side, you move that guy into the third pair, you move Ceci up, and then now you have Stetcher in there. Okay, you can suddenly make that work a little bit better than Barrie or Schultz or Barrie and Schultz or whatever the case might be. So I like this option a lot more than maybe the other two we've talked about at the start of this video and then yesterday in yesterday's video. So there is stuff to be considered like that. And again, I guess anger level will depend on what the Oilers do for a return. A straight cap clearance, man, I gotta hope that Bowman and Jackson are capable of more than that, because if not, like I said, it's open season on the Oilers and the problems they have with cap compliancy and stuff like that, and teams will just absolutely run at you every chance they get the rest of the season and moving forward, because if you can't negotiate to a position of neutrality or a position of lesser weakness right here, yeah, I know you've only got 96 hours to figure it out or whatever you want to do, but you gotta not get taken to the cleaners on this one, or that's going to be a real bad stain twice over on one situation. So again, your thoughts on that would be greatly appreciated. I think I'm throwing everybody's thoughts from the past 2 days, looking over on my video, looking over on Patrick's, looking over on Gillis TV as well. So yeah, I'd take any thoughts you've got for me, throw them in the comments. And as well, like I said, off the top, you know what, I'm telling you, it's going to be a big weekend of news. I'm kind of booked up Sunday for Country Thunder. Whatever happens then, hey, Patrick and Brennan over on Gillis TV will have you covered. But for now, friends, I'm going to carry on. I've got a busy Friday night planned as well as we continue to buzz through this weekend and into offer sheet pandemonium Monday, Tuesday, bing, bang, boom. Let's get to it. I am up on out of here. Have a great Friday night. We'll talk soon.